Hello students, I am Dheeraj Atla, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Nevujabai Hitkarni College, Brahmapuri. Today I will give you some brief introduction of syllabus BSc Second Year SEM 3 CBCS pattern of Paper 1 Animal Diversity and Comparative Anatomy. As we know, in last year, that is BSc first year, we learn about the phylum Invertebrata. In phylum Invertebrata, in the first SEM, we learn about we learn from phylum Protozoa to phylum Annelida, and in second SEM we learn from phylum Arthropoda to phylum Hemichordata. Okay, so as same as in this year, that is basic second year SEM 3, we learn about the phylum Chordata. It is a huge phylum. Number of species and number of animals belong from this phylum. Okay, so before we going to the phylum Chordata introduction of phylum Chordata, I will give you the basic idea about the chordates. So what is chordate, or what is the difference between the last phylum, that is we learn in basic first year, phylum Invertebrata and phylum Chordata? The phylum Chordata bears a notochord. Okay, the dorsal tubular hollow structures present in the animal or species called as notochord, and this is the distinguishing character of phylum Chordata. Or we can say that during some period of life cycle, chordate possesses a notochord, a dorsal nerve cord, pharyngeal slits, and endostyle and postanal tail. These 5 anatomical features define this phylum Chordata. Okay, so the phylum Chordata further divided into the 3 subphylums. First one is Urochordata, second one is Cephalochordata, and third one is Vertebrata. So first one, that is first subphylum Urochordata, that is a notochord present in the tail region. Uro means tail, and chord means, that is chord, simple chord like structures that which are present in the tail region during the larval stage, called as Urochordata. And second subphylum is, and the Urochordates examples are basically tunicates, which are mostly marine. Okay, tube like structures or tube like animals belong to the Urochordata. And second one is Cephalochordata. Then what is Cephalochordata? Cephalo means head region, and chord means cord, that is cord or cord like structure present in the head region. So we can place them into Cephalochordata. A notochord that extends the length of the body, extending from head to tail, persisting throughout the animal's life, is called Cephalochordata. And the example is lancelet. Okay, and third subphylum is phylum Vertebrata. Then what is Vertebrata? The Vertebrata means the vertebral column bearing animal or the species called as Vertebrata. Okay, so don't confuse in them what is chordate and what is vertebrate. Okay, in a chordate there is a presence of notochord, and vertebrate means there is a presence of vertebral column. So we can say that all vertebrates are chordates, but not all chordates are vertebrate. Okay, so a subphylum of chordates comprising animals as like classes and mammals, aves or birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fishes or pisces, with a segmented spinal column, together with a few primitive forms in which the backbone is represented by a notochord, okay, called as Vertebrata. And these all creatures or these animals belong to the phylum Vertebrata. Okay, so these are the phylogenetic tree. Okay, it is a detailed phylogenetic tree. In the phylum Chordata there are 2 subgroups. First one is Acraniata or Protochordata, and second one is craniata or vertebrata. In acraniata means absence of cranium or brain box. That's why we call it acraniata. There is no brain box or cranium, and notochord may persist throughout the life and it's not replaced by a vertebral column. So as we know that what is urochordate and cephalochord we see in the last slide. And the second subgroup is craniata or vertebrata. The notochord is replaced by a vertebral column. That is, craniata means the cranium bearing animal or brain box bearing animal. That is craniata. Okay. The notochord is replaced by a vertebral column. It's called a vertebrata. And further, this is divided into two subphylum or division. First one is agnatha and second one is gnathostomata. And then what is agnatha? Okay, agnatha means jawless, or there is absence of jaw. Okay, this is agnatha, and gnathostomata means there is a presence of jaw. Okay, first one is agnatha. Agnatha further divided into two classes, that is ostracodermy and cyclostomata. And then what is ostracodermy? Okay, and cyclostomata. Ostracodermy means a fish-like animal creature, that is shell-skinned, jawless or armored fish, which is present in the pelagic era. Now it is extinct. Okay, that is that fish, or we can say that not we can say them a fish, but this aquatic animal or fish belongs to the ostracodermy. And second class is cyclostomata. Then what is cyclostomata? Cyclostomata means animal which having a circular mouth. Okay, circular mouth. Cyclo means cyclic or rounded mouth. That is belong to the cyclostomata. For example, Petromyzon or Mexin. Okay, then next subphylum, that is Gnathostomata. Gnathostomata means, as we know that the jaw bearing is further divided into two superclasses. First one is Pisces and second one is Tetrapoda. From the superclasses Pisces, all the fishes we know is belong to the superclass Pisces. For example, and then this Pisces is divided into three classes. First one is Placodermy, second one is Chondrichthyes, and third one is Osteichthyes. Okay. In Placodermy, it is an extinct prehistoric armored fish. Okay, I will show you the pic of this fish. This is the fish of Placoderm. Okay, this is extinct fish. As we on the basis of fossil record, we can make this image. Next one is Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes, this is cartilaginous fishes. Mostly we know that the shark. Okay, this shark. These are belong to the cartilaginous, means their skeleton is made up of, basically their skeleton is made up of cartilages. Okay, and third one is Osteichthyes. Okay, and then Osteichthyes means the bony fishes. As we know, the freshwater fishes, Delhi, Rohu. This is the Rohu. Okay, so these three classes belong to the Pisces. Okay, Placodermy, Chondrichthyes, and Osteichthyes. And third one, and then second superclass is Tetrapoda. And this Tetrapoda means, tetra means four and poda means legs or appendages. This Tetrapoda is further divided into four classes. First one is Amphibia, second one is Reptilia, third one is Aves, and fourth one is Mammalia. Amphibia, as we know that the frogs. Okay, Reptiles means snakes, lizards. Aves means birds, which are, and then mammalia. Okay, these are the classes belong to the tetrapoda. So now we go to the our syllabus. So in the first unit we learn about the urochordates. What are the general character of urochordate? As we know, the tunicates. Okay, what is the general character of these urochordates? Then their developmental stages or larval stages, ascidian tadpole, and their retrogressive metamorphosis. Okay. What is metamorphosis? Metamorphosis means the developmental changes after the birth. Okay, it is about abrupt changes in the species, and it will run in opposite manner or progressive. We can say it will degenerate some organs. Okay, it's called a retrogressive metamorphosis in reverse manner. The development is in reverse manner. So we can say that retrogressive metamorphosis. And second one is cephalochordata. Their general characters, an example Amphioxus, their external morphology and their digestive system. What is the external morphology or what is their special peculiar characteristics? We can learn in the detail in cephalochordata. Third one is cyclostomata. Their general character of external morphology of petromazone and magazine. Then or their what is the peculiar characteristic, for example their body shape or their gill slits or whatever, we can learn in the cyclostomata. And fourth one is Pisces. What is a Pisces? Superclass Pisces or class Pisces, general characters and classification up to the order we can learn in the detail. Osmoregulation in fishes, that is osmoregulation, water salt concentration, how they manage their water salt concentration, that we can learn in there. Then accessory respiratory organs, for example swimming bladder, that we can learn in the detail in the class Pisces. Then unit second, first one is amphibia. The general characteristic of amphibia and classification up to the order. What are the amphibian characters, how their body shape, appendages, shape, size, whatever. Then the parental care. In the parental care we can see the how they upbring their young ones or how they build a nest or protect their young ones. And then neoteny. Then what is neoteny? Neoteny is the delaying or slowing of the physiological developmental process. So what is the actual process in the neoteny, we can see in it. Then second one is reptilia, that is for example snakes, okay, lizards. General character and classification based on temporal vacuities. On the basis of their temporal vacuities or the arrangement of their skulls, we can classify them. Okay, classify them classify reptiles. Then snake venom, how many type of snake venoms are present or we present. Next one is poison apparatus, then biting mechanism, how snake bites, which muscles act or enact, then or which muscles contract or relax or which bone moves. So we can study detail in this biting mechanism. Then poisonous and non-poisonous snakes, how can we identify them? We can see there. Then unit 3, aves, general characters and classification up to the order. Characters of aves, for example flight adaptations, which flight adaptations are inherited during the evolutionary process, which flight adaptation occur during the evolutionary process. For example morphological, anatomical and physiological. Morphological, for example their body shape, wings, feathers, okay. And physiological, for example their digestive system or their excretory systems. Then bird migration and its significance. What is the cause of bird migration? We can see in the we can see that. Then mammals, general characters and classification up to the order. There are Prototheria, Metatheria, and Eutheria. We can see there. Prototheria means the primitive type of the mammals. They can lay their eggs. Okay, they lay their eggs, and the further development occur in the eggs. Then Metatheria means the marsupials, and then now Eutheria means us, or the higher vertebrates. Okay, higher mammals. Then unit 4, comparative account of derivative of integuments, scales and horns. Basically, we see the scales in the reptiles and horns in the large mammals, for example, rhino. So we see them detail in this unit. Second one is comparative account of aortic arches and heart. There are how many type of hearts and how it works. So we learn in this unit. Then type of receptors, general cutaneous receptors or chemoreceptors. We can see details and how it works, the receptor mechanism. Okay. Then fourth one is comparative account of urinogenital system. Comparative account of urinogenital system. Which type of urinogenital systems are present in all these vertebrates? For example, amphibia, reptiles, mammals. So we see detail in that unit. And next one is the practical syllabus. Which practical we can perform in this semester third? The first one is the section A. In the first section, identification and classification of museum specimens. All the which learn in the theory classes. Now we can perform these all actions, or we can see all these species in the practical. For example, urochordates, cephalochordates, cyclostoma. In urochordates we can see Herdmania, Salfa, Doliolum. Cephalochordates, Amphioxus. Cyclostoma, Maxine, Petromyzon, Pisces, Pristis, Torpedo, Notopterus, Exocetus, Clarius, Ophiocephalus, Cutla, Labium, Regal. In amphibia, Bufo, Salamandra, Ichthyopis. Reptilia, Chameleon, Varanus, Pharonozoma, Draco, Tortoise, Naja, Bangarus, Hydropis. In aves, for example, owl, woodpecker, kingfisher, kite, duck, parrot. In mammals, squirrel, mongoose, bat, loris, rabbit. All these species, we can actually match their character, okay, with them. Just for example, if we know about the characters of the mammals, so we can actually match these character with these species or these specimens. Okay. The next session, the second, is anatomical observation. In the anatomical observation and demonstration and detailed explanation of following with the help of ICT tools, models, charts, photographs, etc. For example, digestive system, reproductive system, and the brainial and cranial nerves. Third one is study of skeleton of rabbit and fowl with the help of the ICT. Then fourth one is study of permanent slide. So with the help of these scales, we can make the slides. There are three types of scales: the placoid, cycloid, and ctenoid. We can perform them. And fifth and last one is permanent stained micro preparation of the given material. So whichever we give the material, fish scales, placoid, cycloid, ctenoid, hyaline cartilage, and striated muscles. Okay, then thank you.